My, oh my, is this fun or what? The park, the unis, and this great game of hockey, you just have gotta love it. Today was the NHL Winter Classic, and this was actually a solid matchup. The Bruins have been on a tear this year and are undoubtedly the strongest team in the league, and the Pens, they were able to keep the old band together and are looking to make another run as the curtains begin to close on this era. At the helm, we've got two Hall of Famers in Patrice Bergeron and Sidney Crosby, and for me, to see Crosby possibly for his last time outdoors and back at it after the magic that started it all back in 08, I was all in for this game. So to start, things got off a little slow. The Pens were definitely on the receiving end of some better chances to start, but ALMOST stood strong early, shutting them down. About halfway into the first, despite being goalless, some early drama began to ensue as Jarry appeared to favor his foot, and it started looking like the Smith may be coming in. Sure enough, nearing the end of the first, the Smith comes in and Jarry is seen leaving in discomfort. Not a great scene if you're a Pens fan. Despite the goalie change, the first drew to an end without a whole lot of action. So on to the second, and on the penalty kill, the Bruins get off to a dangerous looking 2-on-1 here, and it gets called offside. This was just a terrible mistake here by the refs, as you should always let this go in today's NHL. Worst case scenario, the Bruins score here and you can just review it anyway, but a bad break here for the Bees nonetheless. As we neared the midway point of the game, the Pens would finally get on the board, and this was a great play here by Carter along the boards. He strips the puck, Heinen gets it out front, and Kapanen nets his 6th of the year to open the scoring. Then we got a bit of a break in the game as the crowd got to sing along to Sweet Caroline, and yeah, just pretty cool stuff here. But entering the later stages of the period, ALMOST came up huge again as Kapanen got another great opportunity here, all alone out front in a play that looked very similar to the first goal, but ALMOST does what he's been doing and keeps it a 1-goal game. Now at this point, things began to heat up a little, getting a little chippy out there, and the Bruins put on pressure late. But this time, the Smith comes up big, and he's able to keep the Pens up after 40. Now something else happened just before the end of the second that I wanted to show here. A puck got deflected into the crowd, which is pretty funny, as some brotherly love here among Bruins and Pens fans. Just good stuff. But anyway, on to the third we go, and with the sun going down, how can you not love this atmosphere? Just beautiful stuff. But with that said, considering how the Bruins have been playing all year, they seemingly had the Pens right where they wanted them. And they started to get the momentum going their way as the Pens would cling to a 1-goal lead. On a tripping penalty by Dumoulin here, the Bruins would go on the power play. And while the Pens were able to kill it off, just as the power play expires, the Bruins would finally get their first goal of the game. This is a real nice pass by Marchand, but a great attack from below the goal line by DeBrusk. He gets him and the Bruins on the board to tie this one at 1. Just as we've seen so often, the Bruins came alive in the third, putting the pressure on as you could feel the ice begin to tilt. This one just goes off the post on a very similar looking play to their earlier goal in the game. As we get deep into the third, the Bruins enter the zone and Hall makes a great effort that leads to DeBrusk getting the Bees up late. Scoring his 2nd of the game, he picks up the rebound here and DeSmith really just has no chance. The Pens then pulling DeSmith leads to ALMOST attempting an empty netter, and can you imagine? This would have been insane, but he just misses here. And while the Pens put on pressure, breaking my heart, they score. But just as the time expires and Malkin's shot here would not count. The Bruins hang on, and that would be the wrap on this one. So unfortunately, the Pens skid continues, and the Bruins, their home streak also continues as they continue to just dominate this year. And I know many would consider these outdoor games a bit gimmicky, but especially this one, for me, was an awesome show, and I fully accept my bias here. I've been a die-hard fan of the Penguins for as long as I've been one of the Red Sox, actually. So this one was a real treat for me, getting to watch my Pens in Fenway with the Green Monster to set the scene. Ooh, baby. It was unfortunate we took the L here, but still a great show. And with that said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.